Are you moving to Chandler for a job at Intel and wondering where you should live? Today, we're comparing three communities near Intel's Ocotillo campus that buyers frequently ask about: Ocotillo, Fulton Ranch, and Fox Crossing. They're all located in South Chandler, but they offer very different types of homes, amenities, price points, and overall lifestyles. Hi, I'm Megan Haynes with Heart to Home AZ at Realty One Group, and if you're thinking about moving to Gilbert, Chandler, Queen Creek, or anywhere else in Arizona's East Valley, this channel is designed to help you understand what living here is really like before making a move. And as a local East Valley realtor, I can tell you that choosing a neighborhood near Intel shouldn't be based on the commute time alone. You also need to think about the style of home you want, HOA fees, community amenities, access to shopping and restaurants, freeway access, and what you want your everyday life to look like when you're not at work. So let's take a closer look at three of the best communities to consider near Intel in Chandler. Let's start with Ocotillo, because this is probably the first community most buyers hear about when they begin searching for homes near Intel. Ocotillo is a large master planned area in South Chandler located very close to Intel's campus near Dobson and Ocotillo roads. Now, one of the biggest advantages of Ocotillo is the variety. You can find condos and townhomes, traditional single-family homes, gated neighborhoods, golf course properties, and larger luxury homes. There are also homes with water views throughout different sections of this community. And Ocotillo is known for its lakes, mature landscaping, walking paths, and the Ocotillo Golf Club. It generally has greener and more established feeling than some of the newer communities around the East Valley. You're also so close to restaurants, coffee shops, grocery stores, and the businesses around downtown Ocotillo, which are a lot of fun. For someone relocating to Chandler, that can make the transition a little easier because so many of your everyday needs are nearby. Now, a major question people ask is all of Ocotillo part of the same HOA? And the answer is no. Ocotillo is made up of many smaller neighborhoods, and some properties may have more than one association. HOA fees, amenities, and exterior rules can vary depending on the specific subdivision. So that means you'll want to review the HOA information for the exact property you're considering instead of assuming that every home in Ocotillo has the same fees or rules. Another question we hear is whether Ocotillo is walkable. You may be able to walk within your neighborhood, around the lakes, or to a few nearby businesses, depending on where you live, but Chandler is still very car-oriented, so I wouldn't consider Ocotillo fully walkable in the way you might picture a downtown neighborhood. Overall, Ocotillo is a great place to start if you want to live close to Intel, like having several housing options and enjoy a more established community with lakes, golf, and mature landscaping. So next up is Fulton Ranch, located just east of the Ocotillo area. It's another master planned South Chandler community, but it tends to have a slightly more polished and upscale feel. This community is known for its lakes, water features, greenbelts, walking paths, parks, and beautifully maintained landscaping. It is pristine. You'll find townhomes, single-family homes, gated neighborhoods, and larger luxury properties. There are also some very beautiful waterfront homes within this community. People frequently compare Fulton Ranch and Ocotillo because they're close to each other and they both provide convenient access to Intel. So what's the difference? Ocotillo generally offers a broader mix of housing styles and neighborhood environments. You can go from a relatively low maintenance condo to a large luxury home without leaving the greater Ocotillo area. And Fulton Ranch tends to feel more consistent from one section to another. It has a planned upscale environment with lakes and landscaping forming a major part of this community's identity. Fulton Ranch is also close to shopping and dining along Arizona Avenue, Chandler Heights Road, and the surrounding South Chandler area. The biggest question buyers usually have involve HOA fees, gated sections, home prices, and whether paying more for the location and this community amenities is actually worth it. But that answer depends on what matters to you. Some buyers love the maintained landscaping, water features, and overall appearance, and other buyers would rather put that money towards a larger home and lower monthly housing expenses. Remember that HOA fees and amenities can vary by subdivision, even within a master plan community. So always look at the specific property's HOA documents, fees, and restrictions before making a decision. Fulton Ranch may be the best fit if you want a higher-end master plan community, appreciate lakes and greenbelts, and still want a manageable commute to Intel. The third community is Fox Crossing. Fox Crossing may not have the same name recognition as Ocotillo or Fulton Ranch, but it can be a great option for buyers who want a more traditional residential neighborhood near Intel. The community is located east of Intel around the Ocotillo Road corridor and consists primarily of single-family homes. And rather than focusing on golf courses and large lakes or resort-style living, Fox Crossing has more of a classic suburban neighborhood feel. And that may appeal to someone who wants a traditional house and neighborhood, but doesn't necessarily want to pay a premium for waterfront or golf course amenities. Fox Crossing also has parks, greenbelts, and convenient access to grocery stores, restaurants, schools, and other South Chandler amenities. And one of the biggest questions people ask about Fox Crossing is traffic. Because the neighborhood is near Intel and other major employers, Ocotillo Road can become very busy during weekday commute times. And this is an important tip. No matter which community you're considering, don't test your commute in the middle of the afternoon or on a Sunday morning. Drive it during the actual time you would normally be going to work or coming home. A short distance on a map doesn't always mean a short commute during peak traffic. Fox Crossing may be a good fit if you're looking for a traditional single-family home near Intel and don't need the lake, golf, or luxury community atmosphere found in some parts of Ocotillo and Fulton Ranch. Which community is right for you? Well, here's the easiest way to compare the three. Choose Ocotillo if you want the largest variety of homes, really value being close to Intel and like lakes, golf, mature landscaping, and nearby dining. Choose Fulton Ranch if you're looking for a more upscale master plan environment with water features, greenbelts, gated options, and larger and higher end homes. Choose Fox Crossing if you prefer a traditional single-family neighborhood and want to balance location, home size, and budget without necessarily paying for resort-style amenities. Of course, these aren't the only options near Intel. Depending on your budget, lifestyle, and other commute needs in your household, you may also want to look at additional neighborhoods throughout Chandler or even parts of Gilbert, and other things to consider before buying. Before choosing a home near Intel, make sure you look beyond the community name. Compare the HOA fees and restrictions, the age of the roof and the air conditioning system, school boundaries, freeway access, and the actual condition of the home. While Arizona is school choice, school assignments are based on the property's exact address and can change, so always verify current boundaries directly with the school district, especially if you need the bus. And I also recommend visiting the neighborhood at different times during the week and day. Drive through weekday mornings, weekday evenings, and sometimes during the weekend. Pay attention to traffic, noise, parking, and how the neighborhood feels when residents are actually home. And don't forget about that second commute. If you have one in your house, living 5 minutes from Intel may sound perfect, but if someone else in the household works in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Tempe, or even Queen Creek, you'll want to consider their drive too. So there really isn't one community near Intel that is automatically the best for everyone. Ocotillo, Fulton Ranch, and Fox Crossing each offer something different, and the right choice will depend on your budget, preferred home style, commute, and the kind of lifestyle that you actually want. We've also created a full blog comparing these communities, including more information about homes, HOA amenities, traffic, and questions buyers frequently ask, and I'll put the link in the description below. And if you're moving to Chandler for Intel or another East Valley employer, reach out to us. We can help you compare the neighborhoods, understand the different costs, and create a home search based on what will actually work for your household. I'm Megan Haynes with Heart to Home AZ at Realty One Group. And thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more information about living, buying, and selling throughout Chandler and Arizona's East Valley.